to you all. So today we are going to learn about a very beautiful story, The Lost Child, written by Mulkraj Anand. This story is about a child who went for a fair of spring with his parents. And the story is all about the sweet relationship between the children and the parents, and about the protective behavior of the parents. So this is beautifully brought about in this story. So before getting into the lesson, we'll see a short introduction about the author. Now we'll see about the author of the story, Mulkraj Anand. Mulkraj Anand was born on 12th December 1905. He was an Indian writer in English, notable for his depiction of the lives of the poorer caste in traditional Indian society. Anand is admired for his novels and short stories, which have acquired the status of classics of modern Indian English literature. They are noted for their perceptive insight into the lives of the oppressed and for their analysis of impoverishment, exploitation and misfortune. That means most of his short stories and novels noted on the lives of people who lived an unjust life and misfortunes. He became known for his protest novel Untouchable, which is written on 1935, followed by other works on the Indian poor such as Coolie, which was written on 1936, and Two Leaves and a Bud on 1937. He is also noted for being among the first writers to incorporate Punjabi and Hindustani idioms into English, and was a recipient of the civilian honor of the Padma Bhushan Award. He died on 28 September 2004 due to pneumonia. Now we'll move on to the lesson. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lines and alleys emerged a gaily glad humanity. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and willow cots. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. Here, wintry shades of narrow lines and alleys means in the winter season the narrow lanes will be full of shade, and now it was full of people. Emerged means came out. Brimming over means to be full of something. So here the story is set in the spring season. The winter has just ended, so all the people, they came out of their houses and they were very cheerful as the chilling cold weather has ended. So some people came there walking, few rode horses, few rode bamboo cots and willow cots. So now there was a little boy who came with his parents. He ran with excitement and he often banged into his father's leg. He was filled with excitement and laughter. "Come, child, come," called his parents, as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the cold old stare of refusal in their eyes. So here lagged behind means he was left behind. Fascinated by means attracted to. Lined the way means were set up along the way. Lingering means lasting for a long time. Receding means left behind as he walked ahead. And suppress means put an end to. So here the little boy was attracted to the toys which were displayed at the various stalls. So when he was left behind, his parents kept on calling him to join them. So he was a very obedient child. So when he was called by his parents, he joined them. So, but his eyes kept on looking at the toys and he couldn't hold his wishes, his desires, even though he knew that his parents will not buy it for him. "I want that toy," he pleaded. His father looked at him red-eyed in his familiar tyrant's way. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what is before you?" It was a flowering mustard field, piled like melting gold as it swiped across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lawn black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. So here tyrant means a cruel and oppressive ruler, and melted means become tender and loving. Pale means dull and colorless, and gaudy means extremely bright and showy. So here the little boy was unable to hold his desire, and finally he said that he wants that toy. Now the father, he got very angry and he looked at the boy with his red angry eyes. But his mother, she felt sorry for him and her heart melted because of the cheerful mood. So she asked him to hold her fingers and asked him to look at the things in front of him. There was a vast field full of bright yellow colored mustard flowers. It's described in the text as a flowing streams of gold, and there were groups of dragonflies, black bees and butterflies buzzed around drinking the nectar from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it, but it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air when he had almost caught it in his hands. Then his mother gave a cautionary call. Come, child, come on the footpath. So here the child kept on looking at the bees and butterflies, and he even tried to catch them. But he couldn't, because it was a very tiny insect and it kept on fluttering and flapping up in the air. So now his mother called him to join them as they started walking down the footpath. He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them for a while, being however soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. Come, child, come, his parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. Here, abreast means side by side and facing the same way. Teeming out means to pour or empty out. A grove means a small wood or group of trees. So here the child ran towards his parents and he walked next to them. But soon he got distracted and stopped to see the insects who were coming out of the soil, and he was left behind. So his parents again called him from little distance where they sat for a shade, and again he ran towards them. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents shouting, "The dove, the dove." The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So here, when the boy entered the shady area, the flowers fell on him and he forgot all about his parents and he started playing with the petals. So he started collecting all the fallen petals, and just then he heard the cooing sound of the doves. And he got distracted again and he started chasing it, leaving the petals. So here this shows that the child got attracted towards the next thing and he forgot what he had been doing earlier. Come, child, come, they called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. Here capers means a playful skipping movement. So again his parents called the child, who was now running and playing around a banyan tree. So they went near him, lifted him, and they walked down to the narrow lane and reached the fair. As they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. A sweetmeat seller hawked gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets decorated with leaves of silver and gold. Here throngs means huge crowd and converging means gathering. So as they were about to reach the fair, the little boy, when he saw a huge crowd, he got scared and he stepped back for a while. Then again he got distracted by all those beautiful things and he started walking. And at the entrance of the fair, there was a sweetmeat shop. On the corner, the seller was selling gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi and jalebi. It was decorated with leaves of silver and gold. The child stared open-eyed with his mouth watered for the burfi that was his favorite sweet. I want that burfi, he slowly murmured. But the half knew as he begged that his plea would not be heeded because his parents would say he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. Here heeded means paid attention to. So the boy's mouth watered when he saw his favorite burfi, and he murmured in a low voice that he wants that burfi. So this time he didn't ask his parents directly, since he know that they won't be buying it to him. So he didn't ask them anything and he kept on moving forward. So from here he stopped paying attention whether his parents are with him or not. A flower seller hawked, "A garland of Gulmohar, a garland of Gulmohar." The child seemed irresistibly drawn. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped and half murmured, "I want that garland." But he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers because they would say that they were cheap. So without wanting an answer, he moved on. Here, heaped means pile of flowers. So here the next stall was of a flower seller, and he was selling garlands of gulmohar. Gulmohar means a flowering plant. It was a type of rose. So the boy wanted one, and he again murmured in a low voice. But since he knew that his parents' reaction, without saying anything, he kept on moving forward. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green and purple balloons flying from it. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on further. Here, overwhelming means a very strong emotion. So here next, he saw a balloon seller selling balloons, and he got attracted to the shiny colors of the balloons. But again, since he knows parents' reaction that they will say that he was too old to play with such toys, so he moved on forward. A snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like a neck of a swan, while the music stolen into its visible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing that his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. Forbidden means not allowed. Coarse means unpleasant. So next he stopped near a snake charmer who was playing a flute, and the snake was twisting its neck to the music. So it seemed that the music was heard by his invisible ears. The boy walked towards the snake, but suddenly he stopped since he knew that his parents would ask him not to go near the snake because of that unpleasant music. So he kept on moving forward. There was a roundabout in full swing. Men, women and children, carried away in a whirl motion, shrieked and carried with dizzy laughter. The child watched them intently, and then he made a bold request. "I want to go on the roundabout, please, father, mother." Here whirling means rotating and shrieked means screaming loudly. So here then he saw a roundabout swing, and it was full of men, women and children who were enjoying the ride. So when he was watching them, he was filled with lots of courage, and he asked his parents to let him play on the roundabout swing. So when he called for his parents, what do you think their reaction would be? To know that, you have to wait for it, and we'll see the rest of the story in our next class. Thank you for watching.